Thank you. In the meantime, we want to bring in our foreign desk editor-in-chief, Lisa Daftari, and Stackleback Tonight host, Eric Stackleback. Great to have you both with us. Big Easy E, let me begin with you. This is the president talking about how things are going in Iran. Want to play a little sound first and get your thoughts on the other side.
Iran, we're doing very well. Somebody said, how would you score it from 0 to 10? I said I'd give it a 12 to a 15. Their army is gone, their navy is gone, their communications are gone, their leaders are gone. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean.
All 32 at the bottom of the ocean. If you're looking for a scorecard, I think it's pretty fair to say things are going well. Eric.
Yeah, Kevin, and not to mention that at least 50 of Iran's top leaders, including the supreme leader, were taken out in the first few minutes of this war 7 days ago.
Yeah.
I really think, number one, that the use of the term unconditional surrender is quite refreshing, Kevin. After decades and decades of the U.S. not finishing the job, look no further than Afghanistan, where the Taliban is now back in power. So I think President Trump is forthright here. He's steadfast. He knows what he needs to do to finish this and eliminate this regime. And Kevin, really, I see this as a history-changing moment. It's not an exaggeration. You think of the Berlin Wall falling, you think of the fall of the Soviet Empire. We are witnessing right now the fall of the world's #1 and most notorious terror empire. When this regime is tossed into the ash heap of history, along with its proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas, we could be looking at a new Middle East. The possibilities are endless, and really, that's because of President Trump's vision. It doesn't happen without him. He's a transformational figure in the Oval Office.
I think you nailed it. Transformational indeed. Let me welcome Lisa into the conversation. Your thoughts on what the president says is steady progress. He is obviously pleased. And then, Lisa, I want to get your thoughts on the idea of maybe having a hand in, I don't know, not selecting new leadership there, but certainly hoping that they will turn in a way that's more reflective of where the people of Iran are today and not the theocracy that they've been living under since 1979.
Yeah, I think you're hearing all kinds of narratives about how this war is going, that Donald Trump's not being forthright, he's not being transparent. He has even enumerated what our objectives are. From the first hour of this war, he said what we are setting out to do. It's not regime change, it is regime collapse. He looked into the camera and he said to the Iranian people, after we collapse the regime, it will be up to you to carry out regime change. You will take the baton and you will determine your future. Now, I think Donald Trump has earned the honor, perhaps with Bibi Netanyahu, to perhaps have a say in the selecting or at least the guiding of Iran into the next chapter. We have said for many years that the selection shouldn't come from the outside, but there's a special relationship between the people of Iran and Israel and the United States at this very moment. Bibi Netanyahu and President Trump, their names are being sung out in the streets of Iran. People are thanking them for this rescue mission, is what people are calling it, and I think should they have some sort of say, I think the Iranian people would be okay with that. But I have to say, I've been doing this for a very long time. The majority of 90 million people on the street are being very clear about what they want. They want secularism, they want democracy, and they're calling out for the Prince Reza Pahlavi. They think that he is the only transitional figure that can take the Iranian people to the next chapter, to have free elections and to determine their future.
I love the depth of your analysis. Eric, I want to get you to weigh in on that idea again. It would be great if the Americans can have some influence, not in sort of a puppet way, but rather to know that what is going to happen moving forward for this great nation, which is just on the cusp of doing something incredible, that they could have a partner in the region that would want to be a member of the community of nations.
Yeah, I think Lisa is on point, Kevin. Look, I mean, the Iranian people, this was ancient Persia. Yeah. This is an incredible and rich history. 2,500 years ago, this was the largest, most expansive empire in the world. And a key point here, Kevin, prior to 1979, remember, Iran had a great relationship with Israel and the United States. So things are coming full circle now, 47 years later. Yeah. And I think President Trump certainly, as Lisa said, has earned the right to have a part in the process of selecting a new Iranian leader. We can't get this wrong. we can't have another terror regime in Tehran, and I don't think we will have that. I think President Trump's going to see this through. I think he's got a vision here. I think he and his team have a plan, but this could be a new day. We talked about the Abraham Accords. What about a Cyrus Accord between Iran and Israel? I think it's very much on the table right now.
Well, it's just incredible to even think about the possibilities, and so many are praying all over the world for the people of Iran. We're short of time. Lisa, Eric, thank you both. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Very much. Meantime, as we continue, as the conflict is ongoing in the Middle East, we have a question for you. Do you feel like U.S. military action in Iran is long overdue, or is this something that's a distraction from what should be happening domestically? Weigh in as we bring the Nightcap crew, which includes you, next. Back with the Nightcap crew, Lisa Daftari, my head cook, Jonathan Saya, and Garrett Exner. All right, here's the question. As the conflict continues in the Middle East, do you feel like U.S. military action in Iran is long overdue, or is it just a big old distraction from the president's, let's say, domestic agenda? Let's begin with my friend Mahak. What do you think?
Kevin, national security is never a distraction. We're talking about global energy supplies and a terror proxy that has been operating for 50 years. This is the only way to get peace at home, is to ensure that we don't have terror abroad.
Lisa.
I once wrote a piece where President Carter owes the Iranian people an apology. I don't even think this revolution should have happened, and we shouldn't have supported it. I think it's long overdue, and I'm glad that we are finally rescuing the Iranian people and rescuing ourselves and our homeland security.
Jonathan.
Taking out the regime in Tehran is the embodiment of an America-first foreign policy. This is a regime that not has killed Americans abroad. They're trying to influence elections here on the homeland. They try to abduct U.S. citizens.
No question about that. Garrett.
We are not called to tolerate evil, Kevin. We are called to oppose it. Call the wicked man to account for his wickedness. I think we just get this job done. I've been waiting my whole life to see it.
I think, you know, when you think about 1979, and that's before any of you all were around, but some of us were, and you think about where we were back then and what has happened to the great people of Iran and where they could be in the future if this all lands properly for them and they make good choices. Really, I think sky is the limit. Let's see what the viewers had to say. Naomi writes this: long overdue. I'm glad to see it happen in my lifetime. I think a lot of people agree with you, Naomi. How about Michelle? This is a really good one. She says, the domestic agenda is irrelevant if foreign terror threats exist with the intention to annihilate the United States and its allies. Touche. Tamara writes, definitely. Like 40-plus years long overdue. How about this one from Bill? He says, this action is long overdue. This will, in time, aid America's domestic policy by having greater control over China's energy needs. That is an astute point. Lenny adds this: this is something that we should have done a long time ago. Keep America safe again. And with that, we want to thank the panel, and we want to thank you for watching America's Late News, Fox News at Night. I'm Kevin Corkin for Trace Gallagher. Trace and I will both be back Monday night. We hope to see you then.